Now, on Sunrise and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, the Texas Rangers are investigating the death of an inmate at the DeWitt County Jail. And a fire broke out at a Dollar General in Goliad. Plus, college campuses unite in protest calling for an end to Israeli military action in Gaza.
And we got another nice, beautiful, warm day coming away, but it's probably going to be our last day in the 70s because every day from here on out probably going to be in the 80s. We'll take a look at that in the weather coming up.
Victoria East going for a district title in Corpus. I'll have that in sports.
You're watching 25 News Now Sunrise. Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Carolina Astrain.
And I'm Parker Cox.
And today it's the 23rd day of April 2024. I can hear the birds chirping,
Yeah, I can hear the birds chirping.
It's 6:31 on our Tuesday morning and it's National Picnic Day.
Oh, what a great day for picnic day. I agree.
Yes, but you want to be careful with your picnic basket in case Yogi Bear is around, right?
Oh, Yogi Bear. Oh, yeah, I haven't seen that in a while.
But this isn't really bear country.
No, it's not. It's actually bat country.
Yeah, I was kind of suspicious if those were bird noises or bat noises.
No, that's true. That's possible.
Well, is it a beautiful day for a picnic? Should we pack a kite?
Oh, not today, but coming up over the next few days, kite weather is definitely coming your way. Don't you worry about that. But definitely be packing that stuff for a picnic today because we've got a beautiful day coming our way yet again. In fact, today's probably going to be our very last day in the 70s, so you might want to get out and enjoy it because every day from here on out probably going to be in the 80s. But looking here in this beautiful camera at the sunrise, I already took the conditions up, but yeah, they got a beautiful sunrise in the background. But if you're going to go look at the sunrise, you might want to put on a jacket. It's still a little bit chilly out this morning, 55 degrees, but a little bit humid as well, with the humidity at 89%. But coming our way today, we got another nice day, like I said, but starting out with a little bit chilly temperatures, all of us in the mid 50s and the upper 50s, but along the coast you are in the mid and upper 60s. We're next to that nice warm 70-degree water. But like I said, looking at weather headlines here, you can see we're going to have nice, more sunshine and a little bit more clouds as well coming our way today. Kind of like what we had yesterday, but actually the clouds are going to increase instead of decrease today. But coming our way later this week, going into this weekend, we do, like we were just saying, we've got some windy days coming this weekend with gusts this weekend, probably gusting up to 40 miles an hour. Going to be windy for that kite weather. But like I said, also today, probably our last day in the 70s for quite some time. We're going to be in the 80s for the next couple of weeks. But looking at your cloud cover, like I said, whatever clouds are out there, not too much, as you just saw there on the camera, not too many clouds, but whatever clouds are out there are going to slowly burn off by we get to noontime. And today I'm thinking highs in the mid and upper 70s, going to be right around 79 today. But like I said, you might want to enjoy it because we're back in the 80s. But we'll take a look at all that more though in just a few more moments. Back to you, Carolina.
Thank you, Parker. The Texas Rangers are investigating the death of an inmate at the DeWitt County Jail. At around 4:25 a.m. last Sunday, workers found Milton Wilson Kaiser III unresponsive. The Justice of the Peace from Precinct 1 later pronounced the 34-year-old from Yoakum dead. Authorities arrested Kaiser April 12th, just before 9 p.m. on charges of family violence causing bodily injury. An autopsy is underway. Victoria police arrested a 43-year-old suspect on 5 charges Sunday. Jermaine Kaufman is charged with aggravated robbery and aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. He's in the Victoria County Jail in lieu of a $96,000 bond. A fire broke out at a Dollar General in Goliad early Monday morning. An alarm sounded at 1:49 a.m. and within 10 minutes of the alarm, crews were able to put the fire out. Fire damage remained contained to the store sustaining smoke damage throughout the building. 6 fire departments responded to the fire and the cause remains under investigation. Opening statements began Monday in former President Donald Trump's historic New York criminal trial. Trump faces 34 counts of falsifying business records. The charges are related to suspected hush money payments to adult film actress Stormy Daniels. He has pled not guilty and denied a relationship with Daniels. The court has called former National Enquirer publisher David Pecker as the first witness for the prosecution. The trial begins again today, but will end at 2 p.m. because of the Passover holiday. We'll go to Washington for more later. Now to the Supreme Court, weighing in on a case that could decide how the government fights homelessness.
This morning, the Supreme Court appears open to allowing cities and towns to criminally punish homeless people. At issue, whether governments can ticket, fine, or possibly jail homeless people who sleep outside in public areas. Opponents argue that violates the Eighth Amendment, which prohibits cruel and unusual punishment. Justice Amy Coney Barrett questioning that claim.
So it would not violate the Eighth Amendment to punish public urination and defecation.
The case stems from the city of Grants Pass, Oregon, which has banned anyone who sleeps in public from using a blanket, pillow, or cardboard box.
I think that it is harmful for people to be living in public spaces, on streets and in parks, whatever bedding materials, when humans are living in those conditions. We think that that's not compassionate.
The case has nationwide implications amid the expanding problem of homelessness and public safety concerns. While many justices appeared sympathetic to the city, others pointed out the need for homeless people to sleep somewhere.
It's sort of like breathing. I mean, you could say breathing is conduct too, but presumably you would not think that it's okay to criminalize breathing in public.
I would like to point to the federal
And
regulations.
for a homeless
which I brought
person
up.
who has no place to go, sleeping in public is kind of like breathing in public.
Chief Justice Roberts suggested this may not be for the court to decide at all.
This is a serious policy problem. And it's a policy problem because the solution, of course, is to build shelter, to provide shelter for those who are otherwise harmless. But municipalities have competing priorities. Why would you think that these 9 people are the best people to judge and weigh those policy judgments?
Allison Cossack, ABC News, New York.
College campuses united in protest Monday, calling for an end to Israeli military action in Gaza. This is the 6th day of protest at Columbia. The school's president moved all classes to hybrid learning through the end of the semester because of reports of Jewish students feeling threatened on campus. New York police arrested some 100 protesters at the school last week. Protests made their way to Connecticut as well, with more than 40 people arrested during protest at Yale. An overnight protest also took place at Boston area colleges. Surf's up for a pair of sea turtles who got a new home in the ocean Monday to mark Earth Day, attracting a crowd in the process. Workers from the Florida Keys Turtle Hospital rescued the turtles last year. Both needed surgery to remove tumors and were given antibiotics. Now they're tumor-free and strong swimmers, so workers at the hospital decided to let them free. Remember, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. The time is now 6:38 on our Tuesday morning. Here's a look at what's coming up on 25 News Now Sunrise. The USDA asking consumers to check their refrigerators and freezers for tainted meat.
I'm ABC's Emwin in Washington. It's day 2 of former President Trump's hush money trial in New York. How prosecutors are also trying to hold him in contempt, accusing him of violating the court's gag order. The latest coming up.
And also coming up after the break, we'll take a look at your school bus forecast, followed by your weather and health forecast. And later on Sunrise, we'll take another look at that warm weather that is coming our way real soon. Well, good morning, Crossroads. If you're all tuning in with us this morning, you're looking live in Cuero. Now, look at that. The clouds are starting to slowly pick up already this morning. And I'm thinking whatever's out there this morning is probably going to kind of stick around for us today. But we've got a lovely morning out there. Just a little bit chilly right now, about 56 degrees out there. Might want to grab a jacket if you're going to go see that sunrise. But just a tad bit humid as well with the humidity at 96%. That is enough for fog, but I'm not expecting any fog out there this morning just because it's a little bit cool for today, but we also got high pressure on top of us. But if you're seeing our kiddos out the door this morning, it's going to be about just like it is right now, about 55, 56, a little bit chilly, a little bit cool, and also mostly clear. Nice for that sunrise. But as we head back home this afternoon, about 3, 4 p.m., it's nice. Another nice, beautiful day coming our way today. About 79 degrees, and I think today's probably going to be our very last day. We're going to be in the 70s because the next couple of weeks are going to be in the 80s. For sure. But coming our way today as well, grass pollen's going to be high and tree pollen's going to be moderate. So I'm going to let y'all decide if y'all want to take an algae pill or not for today. But we, like I said, going to be rising back to the upper 80s by this weekend. And we're going to take a look at that and more in just a few moments. And that's it for weather. Good look at sports with Zach Brown.
Yesterday in Corpus, Victoria East trying to make a little school history and win a district title for the first time in well over a decade. Now in the first inning, Veterans Memorial at the plate. This ball ripped into center field off the bat of Vets, but a nice running catch by the center fielder. The runner does move over to third base, and Vets poured in a lot of runs early to put it out of reach. But a highlight in this one, Mia De Los Santos to straightaway center field, 2-run shot to get East a few runs, but unfortunately not the Titans' night. Final score in this one, 19-4, but good news, it's a brand new season. East is the second seed, and we've got their playoff matchup. They will get Laredo Nixon in beautiful San Diego, Texas this Friday and Saturday. They can put this game behind them and go and try to win some postseason games, which are more important anyways. It is NFL Draft Week, and we have 2 local superstars who will likely be hearing their name called at some point this week. It's Jonathan Brooks and Jordan Whittington, but there is some sad news for former Cuero Gobbler Arthur Whittington, who is the uncle of Jordan Whittington. He has passed away at the age of 68. Whittington won a championship with Cuero back in 1973, won a Super Bowl with the Raiders in 1981. He played football at SMU and will surely be missed. With your 25 Sports Now, I'm Zach Brown.
Thank you, Zach. All right. We want to invite y'all to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV. Just search for Crossroads Today Plus. This morning, the judge in former President Trump's hush money case set to consider accusations from prosecutors that Trump violated a gag order at least 10 times. This after a historic day one wrapped up in the first criminal trial of a former U.S. president.
This morning, prosecutors in former President Trump's hush money case say Trump violated his gag order that prohibits him from attacking witnesses and others involved in the case. They want him held in contempt. Prosecutors list 10 instances, including at least one on social media, where Trump linked articles calling key witness Michael Cohen a serial perjurer.
He got caught lying in the last trial. So he got caught lying, pure lying.
Prosecutors want Judge Juan Merchan to fine Trump $1,000 per violation, and they urge the judge to warn Trump that future violations could result in a term of incarceration of up to 30 days. The judge considering the accusations today in court. This comes after a tense first day of testimony in New York.
It's a very, very sad day in America, I can tell you that.
In court, Trump watched stone-faced as prosecutors accused him of falsifying business records as part of a scheme to bury allegations of an affair with porn actress Stormy Daniels during his first run for president in 2016. Jurors heard brief testimony from David Pecker, who ran the National Enquirer, who has acknowledged buying negative stories about Trump only to get rid of them, a practice known as catch and kill.
This is a case where you pay a lawyer, he's a lawyer, and they call it a legal expense. That's the exact term they use, legal expense.
Trump has denied the 34 felony charges. His defense attorney saying there is nothing wrong with trying to influence an election. It's called a democracy. Testimony is set to continue this morning with the first witness, Pecker, back on the stand. Pecker, a longtime friend of Trump's, made a deal with prosecutors to avoid charges himself. Wynn, ABC News, Washington.
And that leads us to your viewer poll. You can scan the QR code on your screen right there to take part. We ask you, should Trump be fined or serve jail for violating his gag order? Okay, let's take a look. 55% of you say he should be fined, and 45% of you say he should serve jail time. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part in our viewer poll. Residents will vote in the Board of Trustee race for District 2 for Victoria ISD. Incumbent Bridget Marshall is on the ballot in July 2023. She was appointed District 2 trustee. Marshall is the Victoria College Department Chair of Humanities and English instructor. She says she plans to use her 20 years of education experience for this role. Marshall faces Andrew Rakovich, a project manager who once served as president of Victoria Young Republicans. In March, he came under fire for a social media post that some deemed anti-Semitic. Rakovich apologized and said the post was poorly thought out. Rakovich wants to ensure inclusivity and representation for all in the community. In the race for District 3 City Council in Victoria, we have April Butler running against Woodrow Wilson Wagner II. Butler is a local business owner. One of the issues she wants to address is retaining first responders. Butler says she has a plan to increase pay for first responders without raising taxes. Butler faces Woodrow Wilson Wagner II in that District 3 race. He says he has a track record of advocacy and a desire to give back to his hometown. His primary focus is also to give first responders better pay to prevent them from leaving Victoria. He says his experience in government will help him find solutions for the city. Victoria will vote for 1, 2, or 3 candidates for the Board of Directors in the Victoria County Drainage District 3. On the ballot is Justin Leda, Ryan Pletcher, Candy Markle-Beck, and Wayne Leda. Voters will vote for 1 or 2 candidates for Board of Directors in the Victoria County Water Control and Improvement District 1. On the ballot, Robert Cardenas, Devin Wallace, and Robert Montalvo. The time is now, let's take a look at our clock. It is 6:47 on our Tuesday morning. Still to come, the city of Baltimore suing the owner and manager of the ship that crashed into the Francis Scott Key Bridge.
Well, good morning, Crossroads. I hope you've been loving all that beautiful weather we've had the last few days. All that after that cold front that came through on Saturday night. That actually leads us to today's weather poll. Today's weather poll asks, do you have any outdoor activities planned with the nice temperatures about? And it looks like 26% of y'all say yes, you do, and 74% of y'all say no, you do not. And I understand it is the middle of the work week, so maybe right in the middle of you working, it's going to be really nice outside. But to vote on today's weather poll and future weather polls, go to crossroadstoday.com/vote-weather to participate and see what everybody else says as well. Now, looking at yesterday, we got up to 76 degrees, and that 76 degrees lasted for all of maybe 10 minutes because we were mostly at 75 for most of the day. But we started out a little bit chilly in the morning, about 51, and just still a little bit chilly out there this morning, all of us in the mid-50s and upper 50s. But the good news is, or for some of us it is good news, we're probably going to be, this is going to be probably the last morning that we're going to be a little bit chilly out there, because it's also probably going to be the last day we're in the 70s as well, because we're going to have 80s for the next probably couple of weeks, because today going to get up to probably about 79 is what I'm thinking for this afternoon. But like I said, every day after this we're going to be in the 80s for probably the next 2 to 3 weeks, getting up to the upper 80s even by this weekend, and maybe even a 90 is possible next week. We're going to be watching that closely, because why all this is happening is because we've got high pressure over there, right over there, actually just entered the Gulf yesterday, and that's going to stick in the Gulf for the next couple weeks, and that's going to keep on bringing the southerly winds back into the state, bringing all that warm moisture out of the Gulf on top of us. But we're going to take a look at all that more though in just a few more moments. Back to Carolina.
Thank you, Parker. The USDA asking consumers to check your refrigerator and freezer for tainted meat. The department's Food Safety and Inspection Service says ground beef products from Greater Omaha Packing Company tested positive for E. coli. The items in question were produced last month and have a use or freeze-by date of April 22nd. No recall is needed because the ground beef had already been pulled from circulation, but anyone with these products should return them to the place of purchase. So far, there's no reports of related illness. For more information, go to the USDA's website. Still to come on Sunrise, news to know before you go. The Arizona trial of a rancher accused of shooting a migrant is deemed a mistrial. The city of Baltimore is suing the owner and manager of the ship that crashed into the Francis Scott Key Bridge last month, leading to the bridge's collapse and the deaths of 6 people. The ship, the Dali, is owned by Grace Ocean Private Limited and managed by Synergy Marine Pte. Ltd. The mayor and city council filed a claim Monday accusing both companies of providing the vessel with an incomplete crew that lacked proper skill and training. The claim says the Dali left the port despite indications that the ship had inconsistent power supply. The city is seeking unspecified damages from both companies. The Arizona trial of a rancher accused of shooting a migrant is deemed a mistrial after multiple failed attempts by the jury to reach a unanimous decision. The Arizona judge declared a mistrial. Jurors deliberated for 2 full days to decide the fate of the rancher, 75-year-old George Kelly, who fatally shot a migrant on his property near the U.S.-Mexico border. Kelly is charged with second-degree murder in the January 30th, 2023 shooting. Kelly had earlier rejected an agreement with prosecutors that would have reduced the charge to 1 count of negligent homicide if he pled guilty. Crews responded to the scene of a large fire in Newark, New Jersey Monday. Flames blazed through 3 buildings, which included a Latin barbecue restaurant, a liquor store, and a grocery store, sending clouds of smoke into the air that could be seen from miles away. Hundreds of firefighters responded to the scene and worked for hours to extinguish the flames. It's unclear what factors contributed to the apparent difficulty in putting out the fire. There's no report of any injuries at this time, and the cause of the fire is under investigation. The Victoria Central Appraisal District hosting a property tax community outreach session today. It starts at 6 p.m. at the Dr. Petty Dotson Public Health Center. They discuss topics like how to appraise value, how to file an exemption, the different types of exemptions, how to qualify for ag and wildlife exemptions, and how to fill out your business personal rendition form, and understanding the protest process. Early voting in the Victoria County May 4th election started Monday. The numbers so far look like this. 99 people voted in person Monday, and 137 mail-in votes were received. And you can early vote at the Dr. Petty Dotson Public Health Center. That's from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. today through Friday, and from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Tuesday and Monday, April 29th and 30th. Under a recent settlement, Seattle Children's Hospital is exempt from sharing transgender patient records with Texas. Read this story by the Texas Tribune on our website, crossroadstoday.com. And we want to invite you to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV. Just search for Crossroads Today Plus. And now let's get a look at that beautiful sunrise with First Warn Storm team meteorologist Parker Cox. Parker.
Hey, Carolina. In fact, I'm going to get out of the way so you can see that beautiful sunrise. Look at that sun coming up on the Gulf this morning. Beautiful sunrise, but if you're going to go out and see that sunrise this morning, you might want to grab a jacket, at least for some of us. Along the coast, y'all are nice and warm in the mid-60s, but along here in the Victoria Crossroads, we're all in the mid and upper 50s this morning. A little bit humid out there with the humidity at 89%, but not enough for fog. But looking at your satellite this morning, you can see what you just saw on the camera. Not too much in terms of clouds, maybe a couple thin layers of clouds on top of us right now, but I'm thinking the clouds are going to slowly increase as we go into this afternoon. In fact, look at that sunrise over Victoria. Beautiful, beautiful sunrise. Like I said, going into this afternoon, I think we're going to be flirting between partly cloudy and mostly cloudy skies, getting up to about 79 here in Victoria, but you might want to enjoy it because today is probably the last day we're going to be in the 70s, getting up to about 78 in Cuero, and about the same thing in Port Lavaca, about 78 for this afternoon. But like I said, stick around with the 70s. You might want to enjoy it because we're going to get to the upper 80s by this weekend, and we're going to be in the 80s for probably the next 2 to 3 weeks.
Wow, it looks like my kite flying plans should be pushed to Friday.
Oh yeah, or honestly tomorrow or Thursday, any day this late week.
I love that Let's Go Fly a Kite song from Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
I'm going to have it stuck in my head all week.
Oh boy.
All right, well, thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful Tuesday. Remember, follow us on our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today, and join Karina, Don, Mac, and Zach today for 25 News Now at 5, 6, and 10.